Yo, what's going on? This is JayDamage. I'm back again with another video, and this time we're gonna be doing another horror video animation. Except this time, this video is called "A Crazy Man Locked Me in a Tiger Enclosure." So we're gonna go ahead and jump right into this video, and we're gonna see what's popping. This time I got my son with me. You know what I'm saying? This is my firstborn child. How old are you?
9.
And he is 9 years old, about to be 10 in a couple months. So, you know what I'm saying? We about to go ahead and get this cracking and watch this video. If you're excited to see this video, go ahead and hit a like, comment, subscribe, then hit that notification bell. And we're going to go ahead and jump right into this. And we're going to see if this is scary. We're just going to see what the heck this is. So here we go. Let's jump right into it.
Okay, let's go.
This is about an awful experience I had 2 years ago. Whenever I think of the day, I get startled even while sleeping and have a terrible nightmare. Seriously, I haven't watched any TV program or movie that shows tigers since then. Now, I'm going to tell you about the day that I don't want to remember anymore. I was a college student who was always short of money and looking for a part-time job. One day, I found an interesting job. It was a job suggested by a guy who had a tiger in his house.
I like how it says Wansee.com, because you know the channel is called Wansee Entertainment.
Yeah, that's cool.
He was going to be away for several days, and therefore he needed a person to take care of his tiger instead of himself. As the hourly wage was as high as I could barely earn by working for 7 days, it was really irresistible to me. I was scared, but the tiger was to be locked up in the enclosure anyway, and what I was required to do was just to feed it. So I decided to do it. After calling him, I finally visited the house. He said the enclosure was at the backyard. When I reached the backyard, I saw a huge tiger. As I had never seen a tiger before in reality, I got overwhelmed with its massiveness and fear. It roared like thunder, and I became more terrified. The man said he was going to show me how to feed the tiger, and brought huge chunks of meat to demonstrate. Watching a tiger chewing up the whole flesh and bones made
Why
me
they got
aghast.
the meat censored?
This time he passed me the meat and told me to try. I held the meat with a trembling hand. However, all of a sudden, he opened the door of the enclosure, pushed me into the enclosure, and closed the door.
Oh!
Only in the
yeah,
blink
he
of an
dead.
eye.
Oh!
You
Why? Why? See, that's why you got to keep a gun on you when you go to stuff like this, because you never know what type of situation you're going to end up in.
Let me tell you.
If he would have had some protection, then he would have been ready. He could walk straight in and shoot the tiger up and shoot dude, because it'd be self-defense. Dude just try to kill him.
If I was him, I would just throw the meat and try to climb out of there.
Yeah. That would be smarter to do. Yep. Throw that meat and try to, climb up out of there. But goddamn, they grimy for that.
I got stuck in the enclosure with the tiger. Swearing and cursing in a low voice, I said, "What the hell is he doing?" I was almost in a state of panic. I wanted to scream out, but I couldn't because I didn't want to provoke the tiger in any way. The tiger walked towards me with big strides, and I thought I was gonna die. The man looked evilly at me with a sly grin. I kept swearing and cursing at him, and it seemed like he was just enjoying watching this whole situation. He even called the tiger loudly and said, "Go bite! Eat him up! That's your food!" The tiger hovered around me like he had a great interest in me, my body. Extremely frightened, I was almost about to wet myself and couldn't even breathe. I cried and begged him to let me out, but it looked like he's really amused with this whole fucking situation, giggling. He even provoked the tiger by dangling a chunk of raw meat as if he's saying to eat me. The tiger finally came right before me and tapped me with its massive front paw. It was just a simple touch, but I felt such an incredibly formidable strength. There was nothing I could do but cry and tremble with fear.
Man, fight for
Rooted
your
to the
life.
spot. The tiger kept playing with me, and I was almost about to pass out. I felt like I was waiting to die. And then it suddenly hit me with its front paw. I tried to fend it off with my arm, and surprisingly, I got my arm broken. I heard the dreadful crunch of my arm.
Dang.
It was such a great shock, as if I crashed into a 1-ton truck.
Be grateful.
I felt
Hey,
an
my
extremely
God, right
terrible
there.
pain and started to scream. At that moment, the man opened the door with a clank, and I rushed out of there. I felt the tiger was about to swoop down on me in the back with a roar, but the man closed the door to lock him in again. When I finally got out of the enclosure, I was eager
Thought
to
your
kill
arm
him
was
first.
broken.
Right.
And I just ran away as
You
fast
know what? I didn't even peep that. You're right. His arm is supposed to be broke. How is he just running perfectly like that?
as I could to escape from that hell. I heard him giggling behind me, but I just got into a car without looking back
How was you
and
able
left
to
for
drive?
home. Fortunately, I survived.
Right. That's what I'm saying. How was he able to drive? Like, what?
But hurt my arm severely. I reported him to the police, and he got punished by law. But since then, I've suffered from awful mental trauma. If he had opened the door just 1 minute later, I would have become prey to the tiger and wouldn't have been able to be here today.
Just be grateful you ain't dead.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on this video based off what you just saw?
Basically, that was pretty weird because he could did something smart. Threw the meat and let the tiger eat the meat and just climb out of there. But he didn't do that.
But he tricked him though, because as he was getting ready to throw the meat, he pushed him in, so he didn't know the dude was getting ready to do that. You know what I'm saying? So it threw him off. So
Yeah. But how was he able to run and drive?
I don't know, because if you got a broke arm, you're right. Because if you got a broke arm, you know it's hard for you to run and all of that. So I don't know, man.
God must give you some godly powers to give you that.
Yeah, because you never know. When you're scared, you know, you'll do some amazing stuff when you're scared, though. For real, for real. So, yeah, we probably going to watch one more. We're going to watch one more.
I think you should watch that one.
What is that? 5 shoes. Or no, I don't know that channel. I don't be wanting to risk that with channels I don't know. They try to shut me down.
The Man in the Building. Have you watched that? I don't even know.
No, I didn't watch that. Which one you want to watch? I was Scary Boy on Halloween or The Man in the Building?
The Man in the Building. That sounds more scary.
I think I've seen The Man in the Building. I feel like that might be the one with the school.
Is it? Yeah.
No, that's not the school. Okay, cool. All right, so we're watching this next video, and we're going to be starting this in 3, 2, 1, boom. The man I encountered in the building followed me.
By Raven.
My name is Mark. This story happened when I was in the 7th grade. One day in July, school had just ended, so me and my friends grabbed our bikes to leave. I used to ride a bike to my house with a couple of my friends. We had a pretty nice neighborhood, so my parents and I thought that nothing bad would happen. But we were completely wrong. When we got on our bikes, all my friends decided to go to someone's house. Everyone except for me and the new kid that I didn't know very well. So, we just said goodbye to the others and continued riding our bikes on our way home. Since my house was a block away from his, we were heading the same way. And we came across a new office building across the street from my house back then. Then I came up with an idea. Hey, why don't we check out that office under construction? He agreed. And then we turned back around and started riding to the construction.
See, this is the thing that especially you need to understand this too as you're growing up. You know, when friends start suggesting things like, oh, let's go into this abandoned building. Let's go into this haunted house.
But we black, so we don't really be trying.
We really don't do that type of shit. That, you know, our culture, we don't do stuff like that. We don't go exploring things that's dangerous. But I'm just saying, if you happen to run into a friend that's trying to convince you, hey, JV, let's go up in here and go do this and this and that, be like, nah, I'm good. Unless you got some type of protection on you or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if I
you gotta have some type of, because kids sometimes have some protection. You can have you a little bat or something.
Or I have I need like a weapon to even.
Yeah, you
pull
need
it
something
out.
to defend yourself. Don't be putting yourself in these positions to do things without any protection, just in case something pop out on you.
Or at least have a parent that actually has a weapon that's with you.
Yeah, somebody. Because I ain't in an abandoned house. I ain't, sure, you know me, your daddy got guns, but we ain't going to no abandoned houses. We ain't playing none of them games. But yeah, come on, let's continue.
Site, which took about 30 minutes. Once we got there, we wanted to go inside, so quietly, we opened the door and went up to the 7th floor. Keep in mind, this office building was pretty much finished, but not exactly fully finished just yet. Just then, we heard something that sounded like someone's footsteps. At first, we brushed it off as if it was just the floor creaking, but then we heard a gun reloading. Looking at each other in panic, we immediately started running down the stairs. A loud gunshot went off, and someone pushed me down the stairs just at that moment. Thankfully, there was a carpet below, so I wasn't hurt bad, but still needed someone's help to pull me up. The other kid looked behind to see me on the ground and picked me up. We were both panicking back then. The adrenaline surged so hard and we both kept running down the stairs. We decided to look behind us when we arrived on the 5th floor. There was nobody, but we could hear someone running towards us. We didn't have a choice other than to keep running. It didn't take long to get to the 1st floor. When we managed to get out of the building, I looked behind the door again and couldn't believe what I was seeing. There were 5 men chasing us.
Wow.
Since we decided not to split up, we hopped on our bikes and rode all the way to my house. When we got to my house, we jumped inside and decided to look out of the peephole to...
You know what it is? They might have had ran into like a gang hideout or something.
But
You know what I'm saying?
why New Kid look black? I can't even lie.
Yeah, he do kind of look black. But my thing is, like, if you run into a building, it's a bunch of dudes chasing you, that means that might have been a hangout spot. But I would think they would be saying something to you, like, get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue.
to make sure that nobody was waiting outside. To my horror, I could see some guy's glowing yellow eyes through my peephole. I screamed at the top of my lungs, picked up the phone and immediately dialed 911. Thankfully, they arrived quickly. I'm sure that the police had noticed how frightened we were. The scariest thing was that the guy was still there, even when the cops had just arrived. However, he had soon disappeared when we walked outside to speak to the cops. And after their full investigation of the neighborhood, they found nobody.
Wow.
Now, it's been 5 years since this incident. However, it wasn't the end. 2 days ago, I was walking across the street to go to my friend's house. The same kid that I was with on that fateful day. Just then, I saw someone across the street. There was the same man that chased me and my friend down that day.
He got a gun.
He was smiling so widely,
Like
as if it looked like someone stitched his mouth all the way to his ears. He looked straight at me, and then started rotating his head.
I would have beat his ass.
At a full 360 degrees. I screamed at the top of my lungs and started running down the street to my friend's house. Fortunately, I got to his house safely, but I still don't know how that could have even been possible. It wasn't my imagination, and my mind wasn't playing tricks on me. But it was so realistic. To this day,
Man.
I'm still afraid of him and worried about that one day if I see him again.
Oh, you had never seen him again.
This time, he wouldn't just look at me. But he could do something much, much worse.
Okay. So let that be a lesson. When it come down to these type of situations, you gotta mind your damn business and don't be trespassing up inside of people's stuff. Because what that sounds like, it sounds like, you know, he done trespassed into a gang hideout, especially like these abandoned buildings. You gotta understand, homeless people live in a lot of times abandoned places where a lot of homeless people stay. So you run up inside of some of these places, them homeless people gonna chase you out. That's their house. They gonna be like, get on up out of here.
Remember, I was like watching something where these two YouTubers like trespassed or something, and it was like an elementary school. They didn't know. Then and they said they almost died because the police was there, and they was really gonna get it, but they ain't go to jail, so they got lucky.
That's one thing about these YouTubers. I don't be knowing what they be doing, some extra stuff. They gotta stop that. Okay, but yeah, you wanna go through one more, or you wanna be done with it?
Yeah, we can go through one more.
Okay, we're gonna do one more.
Let's see.
All right, we're gonna do the scary boy on Halloween.
I want to do the convenience store.
Where?
Right there.
Oh, convenience store. Okay, cool. Okay, we're gonna do one more video. This one is called The Convenience Store Horror Story Animated. And here we go. Let's go ahead and get that cracking. Boom. We're gonna be starting this in 3, 2, 1, boom.
The boy
I'm a guy in my 20s
convenience
working
store.
part-time at a convenience store. This unforgettable incident is the scariest thing I've ever experienced while working here. It was a few months ago. There was a boy who came to the convenience store every day. He looked like a middle school student and wore a baseball cap. However, he was always crying whenever I looked closely at his face. I thought he might have some backstory. Seeing him every day, I felt a sense of closeness toward him. So I asked him what was going on, but he always kept his mouth shut and never said anything. The strange thing was that there was always a very big guy following him. At first, I thought he would be one of his family members, but he had a suspicious look about him. One day, the child hesitated as if to tell me something. Then the big guy approached him, and he glanced at the man and went outside with him. I knew something was going on. He seemed like he needed help. I made up my mind to talk to him.
Look at his
and
face.
help this poor kid when
You
he
look
comes
like
in next
Rock
time.
Lee from Naruto.
The next day,
Yeah, he looked like Rock Lee.
the boy came back to the convenience store. Still, he was wearing a baseball hat, and the big guy was following from behind. Once again, I plucked up my courage and asked quietly what was going on. He glanced back and seemed to say something, but said nothing. I whispered to him, "I'll help you. I'll call the police if you need me to." Then he opened his eyes wide and quietly said, "No." He looked terrified. Poor thing. I wanted to help this kid. Then the man behind looked at us with a frown, approached us, and quickly took the child outside. I couldn't get the kid out of my head the entire
I prayed
time,
for the kid.
but I didn't know what to do. The next day, he showed up again. I told him again that I would help any way I could. He still remained silent and gave me no response. This time, I eventually decided to follow the kid. After he left, I closed the convenience store and followed him in secret. I guessed that the child was living close to the convenience store, and I was right. I found out the location of his house. When this big guy who was always following the child went somewhere else, I grabbed the kid's shoulder. He looked at me with a shocked face, looked around, and soon began to talk to me. He said that he was kidnapped and was watched by the other men. I don't know when they would come. He also told me to run as soon as possible. Hey, let me help you. However, he kept saying that if I called the police, we would all die. Then he hurriedly pushed me and went into the house. I was so confused. Then 2 larger men suddenly approached and asked me,
Whoa.
"What are you doing here? Do you know the kid?" While I was in a panic, they suddenly grabbed me, tried to drag me into the house, and one rummaged in his pockets. I pushed them away with all my might and ran like crazy. I could hear the men shouting, "Get
Like
back
the person
here,
from the
or
back
I'll
room."
kill this kid."
Whoa.
I was worried about him, but I had no choice but to run in fear. Eventually, I got out of there and shivered for a long time. I tried to call the police, but suddenly remembered the child's face telling me not to call them. I couldn't do anything. Time just went by, but I didn't even have the courage to go there again. I haven't seen him since that day.
Wow.
After so many days, he no longer showed up at the convenience store. He was even no longer seen near his house. After that, I quit working at the convenience store and stayed in fear for a long time. But I still live that day in my mind. It's just a constant loop. I wonder what happened to the kid. What kind of men were they?
Wow.
And is he still alive?
Wow. That's crazy. So, you know, it's hard to say what somebody should do in that type of situation, because I look at that from the perspective of, I mean, what do you do? I mean, you know, it's like if you say anything, you know, they might kill the little boy. But if anything, I would say if somebody was in a situation like that, the best thing to do is, you know, there's either 2 ways you could do it. You could either be a hero yourself, get that strap, and go handle your business. Go, you know, back everybody down in that house, save that little boy, and if anybody want to play games, you can shoot it out. Or if you want to be a law-abiding citizen, you know, the first thing you need to do is, you know, matter of fact, that story is kind of sketchy anyway, because I feel like the first time that boy even gave him any signals he was in danger, he should have called the police in the first place. It should have never got to a point of him having to follow them and all that other shit. He should have called the police, you know, let the police know what he was witnessing, and then, you know, you go and follow them, find out the locations, and make sure you guide the police the right way so the police can pop up and surprise them. But I just felt like he handled that situation the wrong way and possibly got that little boy killed. You know what I'm saying? Because
they saw him talking to him.
Right. They saw him talking to him. He should have never did that. I feel like he should, like, the moment that little boy was at the store and told him and, you know, gave him signals like that he was in danger, the first thing he should have did was contacted the police. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like you're not strong enough to handle that type of situation, you're not prepared to be in no fights and with no guns or any type of you know, physical altercations, you contact the police and get that situation handled. You don't have to be no gangster. Don't be scared about no snitching or nothing like that. You go ahead and contact the authorities and handle your situation, because, like, you never know. Like, you never know who that little boy may be, and you know what I'm saying? And shit, they could have killed that little boy, man. So that's a sad situation, but I don't even know if that's real. I'm just basically speaking hypothetically on if it was a situation like that. But you have any thoughts, or you good?
I have some thoughts.
What?
I have some thoughts. I feel like the same way that you was talking about, but I felt like he could do a little bit more different. Now he could have like went to somebody, and he would have said something he should have said something to the owner. Then the owner could call the police, and then the people would know
Right.
about why is this person calling the police. Then they can jump and surprise him.
Right.
But I think you should just call you should just tell the boss or something, like whoever's.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It just sounded like he didn't handle that situation right. It just sounded like he jumped the gun and was trying to be quiet. He was just too scary for that type of situation. When you see a situation like that, you can't be being scary because that could be somebody's life because it could be on the line. Somebody's life could be on the line. They could die, you know what I'm saying? So immediately when you see a situation like that, you got to make a decision.
So,
You either going to go be a hero yourself and risk your life and try to get that boy away from this dude, or the first thing you need to do is, follow. I mean, if you are going to be following them, call the police. Call the police and let them know what you just saw. Straight up.
And no matter what you do, it don't matter if they kill the little boy or they don't. You still have to tell.
Yeah, you're right, because you still should tell the police because
they can still go.
They probably got a whole operation where they kidnapping and killing kids, all type of wild shit. So you never know.
And they said all of us will die.
He said
all of us.
Yeah, you're right, because he did say that. He said all of us. So just think about it. Like when he say all of us, it could be somebody else. So you never know.
Because they never saw anybody else coming.
Right.
So them other kids, they could be dead already.
Right. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and end this video. If y'all enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit like, comment, subscribe. Go ahead and hit that notification bell. And I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. If you enjoyed watching this video with me and JV, go ahead and leave a comment and let us know what you think. To the few people who do watch this channel, I appreciate you. And we're going to keep this train rolling and go ahead and do another video tomorrow. I appreciate y'all for checking this out. We out. Peace.
Peace out.